Hey up guys, what's going on and welcome back to York City. This is the situation. There are 6 games left to play, 5 for everyone else. We're 3 points behind off the title but 4 points clear of third, so automatic promotion is looking pretty good at this point. Whether we can get the title is a different matter. Guess we'll find out soon. So yes, I've decided to bring you back straight away, actually, because I want to bring you all 6 of these games in some shape or form, because it's all important. So I'm going to bring you Middlesbrough and the Cardiff games in full, and the Bristol City game in between those two, I'll just bring you the goals for that, considering we've already seen them in an episode earlier this year, in-game. And next episode will just be the highlights of that Burnley game, along with the last 2 games in full. So I figured that's the best way of doing this. Another reason to bring you back straight away, because we've had a bit of news, which is the youth intake. And finally, Ewan Barwick, a player I can actually talk about that may be something in the future. 3.5 stars, maybe 4.5 stars potential. Here's hoping. At this stage, so that potential will put him on, if I go on him, that potential will put him on, let's say, a similar par to how Carlos, as he stands right now, if my coaches are right in this scouting potential ability. Bear in mind, Carlos looks a little bit like this. So if we get a player something like this from Ewan Barwick in the future, then that's great news, really, isn't it? Also, I find it very amusing that he's already better than every other youth player we've ever had in that position, no matter how long they've been here. All these players have been here for more than a year at this point, and this guy's just walked in and automatically better than any other youth player we've ever had in the past. Says so much about our youth intakes. Also of note, maybe, is this right back, this Portuguese right back, which I found incredibly amusing when the preview came through in December. I forgot to mention it, but the Portuguese right back was mentioned in that. And I just thought at the time, is this a result of all our time going back and forth to Portugal, scouting so many players? Is this what it's led to? Is us getting Portuguese youth players? Yeah, Portuguese right back could be useful considering the fact we sold our backup to right back. So maybe in a couple of years' time, he might be the backup to Shalnan. We may just think about getting low players for backups to Shell for the next couple of years while this guy develops. Who knows? Determination's not great, but great teamwork and work rate at the very least, and 14 tackling, so he's almost as good as Burrows was in that. So here we are at the Middlesbrough game, and one thing just worth mentioning at this stage before we dive into these 3 games today is the fact that on the season preview we are now first. Let's not forget that. Bear in mind, of course, that we were about 7th at the start of the season, so in terms of the average position of our season preview over the course of the season, it's somewhere in this playoff picture, so where we are is not surprising. As much as it feels like it probably should be surprising, it actually isn't. We need to look at the other teams in and around us. Of course, Swansea in 3rd is the one we need to pay attention to. They're playing Aston Villa at home, who are having a rotten season despite being relegated to this division this year. And then Stoke are away at bottom place Bolton, which means this is a match that we desperately need to win, because I suspect both of them will. Well, 3 matches against Middlesbrough so far, and 3 wins, although it is worth noting, of course, we haven't played Middlesbrough away from home since the first match of last season. It was the opening match then when they were managed by then Steve Bruce, who I'm not sure where he is now. He got sacked and moved again. Shaw is available for 45 minutes of action, which means I will start with Ingler at right back. The rest of the team, we actually get to go full first strength, apart from obviously the Ingler at right back, which means Best comes in left back situation. We are full first strength. Dutra in goal, Best, Medina, Edgar and Ingler on that back line. Wilson, Carlos and Velasquez there. In the middle, Ebersbach and Madeira on the wings, and Schott is up front. And of course, with Shaw on the bench, we may actually have a full first team at some point during this match. Nope, I've just noticed Ebersbach is injured. Sometimes it pays to have eyes, which means Van Gastel starts. Ebersbach's not even good enough to play any part of this match, so Van Gastel on that right-hand side, and away we go. Now, hopefully, my observation skills are slightly better during the match. Now, these episodes will probably end up being a little bit bumper in size. I hope you guys don't mind for that. They're playing 4-2-3-1 by the looks of things, and they've won 4 of their last 5 games. We can deny them here. Let's do that. That's obviously the aim of the game, in general, really. They are looking remarkably fresh. Well, their back line is, anyway. And so far, so dull. 15 minutes into the game has been 1 shot. Apologise to anyone who's gone to the Riverside. But Ingler on the ball now. Wilson, Edgar and Velasquez. Back to Carlos, with Van Gastel taking over now. That's a lovely ball through to Schott, who kicks it straight to number 4. And that might be the end of the highlight. Sometimes good blocks are all you need to get a highlight, and that was indeed the case. And I can see that Stoke have already scored against bottom place Bolton, who really are case in point when it comes to getting promoted too soon. Considering they were in League 2 with us once upon a time, the fact they've made their way to the Championship already is definitely too fast for a team that's controlled by an AI. Navarro now on the right side, unless of course they've had a takeover, which would be something, I suppose. Nathan on the ball now. Left to Banks. He's got past number 23 right back, and I think we found him in the box. Ingler's already booked. He's got away with the booking, and therefore red card, as Fernandez steps up here. He's scored, and our advantage over Swansea is now 3 points again. Still got a game in hand. Stoke, of course, extending their lead to 6 points. Paulo Fernandez's first goal of the season. I wonder if he's a recent acquisition. I'm going to check, because I get annoyed when this happens. Okay, he's had 6 starts and 19 sub-appearances. We can let him off the fact he hasn't scored yet. 6 starts for a midfielder, that's fair. But, assertively say, I need to see much more of this team. That's not what I want to see. That's normally blanket. I'm disappointed and I stressed out Wilson. It worked on everyone else in that. Ruben van Gastel has taken a knock and is indicating he wants to come on. Is a bruised shin. How are you off the pitch for a bruised shin? I bruise my shin every other day. They've scored and I've got something blocking the actual animation of that. It's 2-0. I'm not going to skip it. I made that mistake yesterday. There we are, headed in. Since he's apparently made that a full-on injury, I don't have anyone to bring on that right side. I forgot to put a sub on in that situation. No, I'm just going to bring Alonso straight on. He does have a strong left foot, so inside forward shouldn't be too much of an issue there. Egger, though, on the ball, out to no one. What was the point of that? At least go for the left back, who was in slightly more space, and not directly behind a player in red. I know we normally play in red, but can we please pay a little bit more attention to who's on the pitch? What is going on here? Could we have some attempt to defend there? We've had 65% of the ball, 1 clear-cut chance. We've had 4 shots. I mean, they've only had 6. How does this end up at their back post? Nobody tackles Tate. Nobody tackles Robinson. Nobody bothers to go for that header. And Dutra's already on the floor for some reason. And I'm starting to regret bringing you these 3 matchups because you get to see the breakdown live now. Gonçalves, Ingler, Carlos. Still Carlos. Taking his sweet time to put that in there. Madeira's at the back post. Velasquez, welcome back to the first team. Technically, he's only good for 75 minutes of this game, so I will have to take him off surely. But thank you for providing a contribution before you do that. I might have to risk you for the full match, to be honest, mate, because Squires has been basically absent when he's played while you've not been here. Another highlight. 2 minutes later, Carlos. Through to shot. He might have been offside. He's hit at the goalie anyway. And now we go attacking. Another highlight. From the resulting corner. There was a gap in between, so it does make me think there was going to be something there, and it's a good save. That's what it was. And immediately, we've evened up the stats at the very least. We see the resulting corner. That's obviously coming to nothing. Although the highlight does continue. Best gets his head under that one. We lose possession, of course, just by punting it across the field. Can we slow it down? Just go as short as possible, because apparently slightly shorter means still punted across the entire pitch. The number of times we've lost possession by doing that in the last few games is genuinely ridiculous. 75 minutes gone. Really the point I should be taking Velasquez off according to the medics. Ingler has intercepted that straight at Wood because we've once again punted it straight up the field. Navarro is unmarked and not closed down and sort of vaguely tackled. And that's cleared. That wasn't an attempt to actually get it to a player. That was just straight up clearing. I won't argue that one. Tate is through again and kicks it straight at Sergio. Tate has got the ball back somehow from all that. Best has got the ball off him and kicked it straight at them. I know we normally play in red, but come on. Shot is fined up on a booking and on a 6.3. Robertson's coming on. Shao comes on for Best and we swap them over as well. Show some passion, team. And of course, losing 3-1 is going to affect our goal difference. What is an incredibly even game on paper is ended up 3-1 to them and no further highlights. Oh, no, tell a lie. One that starts with a throw in for them. I don't like this. Wing in the right place, I guess. Sergio underneath whatever that was. And he kicks up the entire pitch. Robertson's got on the end of it somehow after whatever that. And great. Gonçalves will get onto the end of this. I'm at a loss for words. What do I have to do to make you to pass it to the person next to you? Edgar, Carlos, Velasquez, Gonçalves, Alonso. This is what I mean. Pass it to the person you can see that isn't being marked by another player. But that's gone out for a corner. We are in the final minute of injury time, so I do just wonder if this is just something that's vaguely adjacent to a highlight that's been turned into a full highlight because of the time. Madeira, Alonso. Now, if we could be the first man, that'd be great. Bear in mind, look at these average ratings on the right hand side. 6.91, 6.9. We can feel aggrieved by this scoreline, by the looks of things. Two clear-cut chances apiece, and it's 3-1. We can be aggrieved by this scoreline. Expected a close game with the most likely winners being York, so for Middlesbrough to win is really something. Is it really something? I'm not happy, obviously, but I'm not going to be aggressive with it. We are away at a team that started the day in 6th. Stop telling me he's a little jaded and can do with the rest. He takes one game off and then plays the next one, and then suddenly he's a little jaded again. How many times do I need to rest him before he's not actually jaded anymore? There's 5 games left. I'm not resting him anymore. He's the best player we have, as proven by this. Oh, hello. Swansea lost. Aston Villa beat Swansea. I mean, it doesn't affect them really because they're completely out of any kind of picture. Are they relegation threatened? Any chance they can go down? No, not in the slightest. So Aston Villa playing for nothing decided to beat Swansea. So thank you for that. So I'll just bring you the goals from the Bristol City game because we've obviously seen them already this year. Yep, sign those players, please, especially the one that can actually be good. Well, this is a useful page. Actually, thank you for this game. Promotion hopefuls get set for run in. Now, technically, Middlesbrough are still in this picture, I suppose, so that's why they're on this list. Do notice in their list, they do play both Stoke and Swansea. So Middlesbrough, whilst they defeated us, could also do us a favour twice in this run in. Got to be said as well, Stoke's run in is not friendly. 6th, 4th, 8th, and us, of course, on the final day. Whereas we've got 18th, 20th, 16th, and Cardiff in 11th. Swansea's just the Middlesbrough game, really. The other ones they should be winning, considering they're at home to Watford. So 4 points on Swansea, with an extra game, of course, to play. And that could be a 7-point gap on them. So I think we've got the most favourable run-in out of the 4. What? Sorry, this isn't the match still. Recent reports have linked you to him with a move for York goalkeeper James Trafford. Are you prepared to go on record with your thoughts on this story? Lampard responded calmly, which credit to him, really. I won't be discussing any transfer stories today, sorry. Frank, to be honest, mate, your name should be what you're doing right now, because, frankly, why would you be connected to James Trafford? He's a League 2 level goalkeeper. Frank's still in charge of Chelsea, by the way. He's not in League 1 with Gerrard and Terry, although what a story that would be. Well, Bristol City have scored from a corner, ultimately. I thought the highlight was over when it hit that post, to be honest, but Silva Lopez just plays it back to Carroll, who is completely in about 18 yards of his own space, and bobs it into the corner. Bobby Carroll. Just as I was making a change as well. Somehow they've scored a second. Coker on this right-hand side just charges at our left-back. He does absolutely nothing until that point where he fails. And Sergio, I don't know how that's gone back into play. I don't know how it's hit our goalkeeper and gone into the box rather than out for a corner. That's what it's done. It's 2-0. Ingler has just amended for his mistake there. Straight away. Shaw on the right-hand side, of course, brought on as a sub, as may have predicted. He's still not fully fit. Carlos, though, sees the run of Ingler on the far side and headed brilliantly, almost directly onto the post, but just in, and it's 2-1. We're not out of this just yet. Turns out we were out of that, and now I'm getting aggressive. Now, realistically, there's no reason to panic. Bear in mind, obviously, this is the tactic we've used to get promoted twice so far. Minor tweaks, maybe, but there's no reason to massively panic here, despite 2 losses in a row. Maybe it's a mentality thing. Let's be honest, our run-ins have not been brilliant the past few years, in terms of performances. Of course, last year, Bristol destroyed us in the run-in as well, so at least it was only a 1-goal swing this time. For Cardiff, of course, which is our make-up game here, which could see us go 6 points clear of Swansea, who thankfully only drew their game, whilst we lost to Bristol. We do have Shaw back at right-back. Ingler's yellow card in the previous match means he's out of this match entirely anyway. Otherwise, the rest of the team is full strength. Best still a left-back, of course, and Ebbers back to full fitness, so he gets to start this one. So that's good news there as well. Now, what we really need is Shot to add to his 27 goals for the season now, because he has been pretty useless the last 3 games. Shaw, strictly speaking, only available for 75 minutes according to the medics, but we don't really have any other right-backs now. I'm expecting a performance across the board, and that seems to have done the trick along with the initial let's raise our game to their level. 7 minutes in. Now, bear in mind, of course, if we do go 6 points clear of Swansea thanks to this match, that would mean, I think, depending on goal difference swings, a win against Burnley would then effectively seal promotion. We would still have to play the next game afterwards, but depending if our goal difference is better, and Ebersbach's got only his 2nd goal of the season, quite remarkably. I think injuries, a long injury at the start of the season and a couple of ones here and there since have effectively hampered that, but Ebersbach gets his crucial 2nd goal of the season here as Madeira picks up on this sort of clearance, puts it back into the box, and Ebersbach deals with that. Lovely. 7 minutes in and it's 1-0, and finally we're actually leading a match for the first time in a while. So yes, looking at that, we have a 15 goal difference on Swansea. That's an effective amount of goals for 3 games if we were to lose all of them and they were to win all of them. But best now on this one, and back into the middle. Carlos Gonçalves just passing around. Passing being a little bit better so far this game, from what I've noticed in the highlights anyway. I mean, it's only been 13 minutes, but I've seen a little less punting, put it that way. Now, that one was a little bit long distance, but at the very least, he was clear of everyone else. That was a lovely little ball there. Shaw shot, and he has added to his 27 goals of the season. After 13 minutes, it is 2-0. And this one's looking a little bit more. We've had 9 shots in 13 minutes. Where was this performance the last couple of games? Now, I think effectively we have lost the title here. This win puts us within 6 points, but we've only got 3 games left after this. So, and whilst we do play Stoke on the final day, which of course would account for 3 of those points, should we make them up, we do kind of rely on Stoke losing the other 2 on top of that, because our goal difference compared to theirs is now really quite bad as well. Talking about how good our goal difference is compared to Swansea, our goal difference to Stoke now is looking pretty bad. They just beat Sunderland 4-0. They've been on quite a tear of late, have Stoke. Quite a lot of 4-goal games at the very least. Gonçalves, Carlos. So I feel like our title hopes are completely gone at this point. Carlos, still. Everything's going through Carlos at the moment. And Shaw, actually, who seems to keep finding himself in all the space on this right-hand side. Number 6 not doing his defensive duties, that's for sure. And Eber's back. 2 goals in the game. 3 in total for the season now. They've had 25% of possession after 18 minutes. It's not gone well for Cardiff so far. But yeah, that number 6 is not defending at all, really. Shaw puts it in again. Well, I say he puts it in, he back heels it. Eber's back, in fact. And that's 3. We're seeing a highlight 1 minute later. Shaw on this right-hand side is ended up with. And Carlos, Shaw again. Shot, 4-0. I don't know what's happening. Bristol City, bottom half of the table. Yeah, sure. Let them win 2-1. Cardiff, top half of the table. 4-0 after 20 minutes. I mean, this is effectively Welcome to Football Manager Part 3. Velasquez on a 6.9. What? Velasquez is the best player of the last couple of matches, and he's the worst one of this one. We've entered opposite land for this match, I think, but I'll take it with a 4-0 lead. That's nearly 4-1. Blimey. I'm just going to take a quick gander at the other end of the table, because I know Portsmouth, Hull and Oxford are all doing quite tightly. Yes, 35, 37, 37. So everything to play for those 3 teams still. Shame none of them feature in anyone's run-ins, because you're definitely going to be getting something out of that. Medina Gonçalves now, through to Carlos Velasquez. I'm seeing this again. Now, their number 6 is having to deal with 2 players right now. Obviously, number 3 behind them, their left back. Whilst it's over there, Edgar probably going to make its way to Eber's back here. And depending on how well number 6 tracks back, it doesn't matter, because Shot's got the ball, he's hit the post. And it's 4-0 at half-time. Keep it going, lads. Not going to say anything else. And we get a highlight, not immediately from kick-off, but 1 minute in. Velasquez now, if he could get something out of this game, I would quite appreciate that. I don't know where they got their shots from, by the way. Obviously, they were on 0 when we were at 4-0, I think. Shot, 5-0. And his 30th goal of the season. Bravo, Victor Shot. I just love his name, because I'm just thinking of all the newspaper headlines that are going to run with the puns. Particularly after this one. 3 goals for him in this match. Shaw. Eber's back. Shaw again. Has he assisted like 4 goals in this game? I think he has. Yes, 4 assists for Shaw. Welcome back. That's what we've missed. It's Shaw, let's be honest. It's 5-1. No, it isn't. It's disallowed. Kone, having the worst game of his career. He's on a 4.9 and he's just had a disallowed goal. They're not taking him off. Now he's injured. Good God. How has he just jumped from a 4.9 to a 6? 65 minutes gone. I think we can do a little bit of rotation here, can't we not? Can't really take Ebbers back off because he's on 2 goals, so he's on course for a hat-trick as well. We can give Robertson some game time though, that's for certain. It's annoying because Ebersbach's on 69% fitness, so I kind of do want to take him off. Just bringing Littler on as well for Shaw, just because he's getting a little bit tired and he wasn't supposed to do the full match. We're 5-0 up, so I think I can afford to take him off this time, opposed to the last time I had to hedge that bet with Velasquez. Kent on a free kick, and this is a rare highlight for them. I thought there might have been a penalty or something there, because considering how that just went through everyone. Edgar doesn't get the ball off Hadley, and Lukabakio over the bar. Apparently he's up to a 6.2. I don't know what he's done. I have to take him off. He's on 62%. No hat-trick for Ebersbach. It's a shame, but at the very least, the 3 best players on this pitch have gone off to standing ovations, I imagine, in this virtual world. Looked like a great save there from Dutra as well. And we've had a 25-shot game. It's been a while, but we've finally had another dominant 16 shots on target, and it's 5-0. Nearly, well, not really 6. That's the 17th shot. Despite the fact it's 5-0, Freddie Woodman has made 12 saves in this game, which is probably the only reason why his rating is still above a 6. I'm very surprised we didn't have the option to say, why can't you perform like that every match there? Because that's what I want to say. But that's the table on the right-hand side there. 90 points for Stoke, 84 for us and 78. So it's a 6-point gap either way. And we now are, we're thankfully to a 5-0 win, closed that gap, actually, in terms of goal difference. 6 goals is the swing, and if, of course, we beat Stoke on the final day, that's goals for us and goals off them. So, 3 games to go. It's not completely written yet either way. There's still a chance we can get the title, and there's still a chance we can miss out on automatic promotion. Now, obviously, our goal difference is massively better than Swansea's. So if we both win this next game, we're against Burnley. I can't remember who Swansea are playing in this one. It might be Middlesbrough, in fact. If we both win this next game and there's still a 6-point gap with the last 2 games, it's effectively sealed. Nothing is obviously confirmed after this next match. So Burnley, I will just bring you the highlights of that. I will not bring you the full coverage on that. And then Preston and Stoke, we will do in full. So I'll see you for that tomorrow. And we'll see what this ultimate fate is for what ultimately is very likely looking like our final year in the Championship. So until then, ta-ra. I will bring this tomorrow, by the way, on Saturday. So please pay attention and have a good Friday. Ta-ra.